Morning YouTube. This is my weigh-in video that I was going to do yesterday. It's my second update about my weight loss journey. Today is Monday, and these figures I'm going to give you today are from yesterday, from Sunday. The reason why I didn't do my video yesterday is because I had company all day, and obviously I don't want anyone to know that I'm doing these videos. So I want to start off by just telling you a bit about how the week went, and then I'll finish off with giving you my figures for yesterday. So, oh yes, before I do the week, I wanted to clarify, because I don't think it was very clear, my step 4 in my kind of how I do this. And I'll just restate step 4 a bit clearer now. And at the moment I'm just sort of doing my step 4 and step 5 together at the same time, but they are distinct stages in my mind. So stage 4 really is about when I mentally count up the days that are in my inverted commas good days. And a good day is when I'm eating sensible food. And all that means is I eat a breakfast, lunch and dinner, anything I want to eat within reason. But what I don't have, my trigger foods, the sweet stuff, I don't have any chocolate or crisps or biscuits or cakes or ice cream. And I don't have any takeaways. So if I have a day where I don't have any of that stuff, I see that off in my head as being a good day. I just try and get through a whole week of good days, in inverted commas. A bad day is if I was to buy some snacks or takeaway. And at this point in my journey, it's usually quite easy because I've gone through the first 3 stages of my prep. And also, I probably should say, and I might go into this in more detail in another video, my first stage about being in the right mental state is such a big stage. I didn't really do justice when I said it the first time, and there is a lot behind that which I can't necessarily explain right now. So unless I'm in the right mental stage, none of the stages will work that come ahead of it. And if you're not sure what I mean by the stages, I have put in the description of my first video what each stage is. So at the moment, all I'm doing is I'm trying to avoid buying and eating what I'm calling the bad inverted commas food. That's bad for me, things I've already mentioned. And each day I'm sort of mentally saying, was that a good day for food or was that a bad day? And as long as I have, in this stage, all good days, then that's all I'm looking to do, just to sort of get myself into a habit of not needing the stuff that triggers me. And last week, the last 7 days, they were all good days. There was one day where I went out for lunch with my son, dinner with my son, and actually it was verging on bad, but I accepted it was fine because it was like a special occasion, and it was just me and him having a chat and enjoying each other's company. And in that meal, I had quite a lot of garlic bread with cheese as a starter, but basically 2 portions, if not 3 portions. The main course was fine, just a pasta dish. Then I did have a pudding as well, which is probably the one which I could have avoided having, but it just felt like, oh, let's just do it today. And on that day, I ate over 3,000 calories, 3,200 calories, which is more than I wanted to eat. So I didn't think of it as being a bad day. I suppose it was a bit of a grey area. I did have a pudding, which I didn't want to have, but it was probably like a special occasion. And I suppose the way I look at it is, I'm not going to never have bad foods, but if it's for something, a one-off thing, like an event or something social, then I will probably have the odd thing that's sweet and not beat myself up about it. And I think that's a sensible approach for me. I'm not going to, at this point in time, necessarily be that strict. At the moment, it's just about getting myself into the right habits and routines on a daily basis. So, and living my life is still important. I'm not going to. There's a balance to be had. And yeah, so I hope that explains what stage 4 is. And stage 5, just to remind you, is where I actually count the calories pretty accurately and just monitor how many calories I'm taking in. And I'm doing that as well. So in terms of the week just gone, I found myself during quite a few of the days having to resist the temptation to buy some extra food that wasn't in my van. So I took with me in my van like a packed lunch and some rice cakes and some pop chips and some pasta meals and plenty of water and some apples. And each day that'd be my diet. I'd spread it out through the day. Because I had some quite long days last week, it was at times quite tough. And I had to kind of consciously decide, you're not going to eat any more today. And so I suppose what I'm saying is this video series about my weight journey, I need to be absolutely open and honest about it. It is at times going to be really easy, but at times it's going to be quite difficult. And at the moment, I did manage 7 good days in my terms, but they weren't easy necessarily. There was a bit of conscious decision making through some of the days. And I thought I'd share that with you because it's part of what I had to go through this week. And because I'm early on in the journey, it's only really my 3rd week of kind of really focusing on it, maybe 4th week possibly, then I'm still very motivated to keep being inverted commas good with my diet. I know that motivation is going to be tested over time, and you will be told about that when that happens. And then the other part of last week was that I want to share with you is the exercise. And I didn't really do anything with the exercise. I just had it in my mind about, should I do some walking now? And on the odd occasion, I did a bit of extra walking, specifically to up my steps. And I did do some press-ups during the week, but not every day. And I think that's the point, that the exercise is really the one which at the moment I'm struggling most with, fitting in both in terms of motivation and time. See, to be fair, it's not time, is it? It's motivation. I've got the time, it's just the motivation. So I know I've got to work on that, and I've got to kind of build myself up to improving that. But again, it's part of being, this stage is about being mindful of how I feel about it and what I'm doing. And so that's where I am. So here are the stats in terms of the average for last week. I'll tell you the average figures for calories eaten, calories used and steps for last week, and I'll also tell you how that changed from the week before. So in the week just gone, that's from Sunday to Saturday, I averaged calories eaten per day 2,755, which is higher than I want it to be, but it's realistic. And that was an increase of an average per day of the following week of 400 calories. According to my Fitbit, the number of calories I used up on average every day last week was 4,151, and that was effectively the same as the week before. It was only 25 calories more. And according to Fitbit, the number of steps I did on average last week was 4,071, 4071. And that was a quite big decrease in the week before of 1,633 steps. By the end of the week, I had achieved 17 press-ups. So that was my stats for averages. And now my physique figures for yesterday. So my weight yesterday was 16 stone, 10.8 pounds. Effectively no change, no weight loss. My fat percentage was 30.2, which was a reduction of 1.8%, quite a big reduction. My visceral fat rating had gone down from 17 to 16. My muscle mass had gone up from 10 stone 12 pounds to 11 stone 1.8 pounds. So about 4 pounds extra of muscle. I'm not saying that's absolutely accurate. I think at this point in my journey these figures are approximate. I'm just taking it as being that I did lose some fat, I did gain a bit of muscle, but whether those are absolutely spot on is not really the point. So although my overall weight didn't really change, there is positivity in the figures this week. And then my basal metabolic rate of calories is 2211, and again my age is 50 still on the scales, my metabolic age. The final figure I want to give you is my muscle percentage as a calculation, and this week it's 66.4%, up by 1.7% from last week. So this week I'm just going to be mindful of trying to do 7 good days. That's just I'm going to try and reduce the number of calories as an average that I take in. I'm going to try and be mindful about my exercise and see if I can get my steps back up to about 5,000. I suppose if I'm honest, these 2 or 3 weeks coming up are really just about maintaining consistency. I'm not going to worry too much if my average figures are hovering about those figures all the time. I'm just going to try and explore options about the foods that I eat and the exercise that I do. My foods are going to pretty much stay the same. I do like my rice cakes as a little treat, but I'll try and do a few less in a day rather than as many as I'm doing. And my exercise, I'll try and do some more walking. I'll just try and be mindful about what exercise I can fit in. And also my push-ups, something I need to keep maintaining. Okay, I think that's all I want to say at this point. Thank you very much for listening, and I will let you know next Sunday how this week goes.